be sharing. Okay. So once again, welcome all of you guys. Myself, Jay Patel from English Globally Family. I welcome all of you to be part of this session. The article of written by Dr. Dhananjay Patel. He is one of my very good friend, and today he will provide us thoughts about the article which he has written down, and he has personally experienced about all this thing, and let people, I request all of you, you can also be part of a group discussion today and learning English. Okay, so what is art of minimalizations, how you can apply in your life, and what kind of challenges you will facing to applying this in your real life. So these all things we will gonna know from the person Dr. Dhananjay, who is the guest of our meeting. So thank you all for joining on time. Once again, I request Dr. Dhananjay, please, you can start your session.
Thank you, Jay. Good evening, all of you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, and
Good
thank you
evening,
once
sir.
again
How are
for
you,
the
sir?
wonderful opportunity. Thank you, thank you.
How are you,
I
sir?
would like. I'm fine. I'm fine. Things are good at my end. Thank you very much.
You are welcome, sir.
Okay. I would like to thank you everyone for giving me an opportunity once again to speak onto this beautiful platform. You audience are really wonderful. But before I start this particular session, at the end of the session, I'm going to ask you one question. Okay. And you must be ready to answer that question. So for that note, you have to listen this particular talk very seriously. Okay. All right, I'll repeat. At the end of the session, I'm going to ask you one question and you have to answer that particular question. Okay, so I will randomly pick any of you and I will try to ask you a question. So this will be a type of a game. Do not worry, the question will not be difficult. Okay, it will be from within the talk, but it will be a simple, sober game. Okay, so let's start. All right. So I request Jay to share the presentation.
Sure.
And meanwhile, I'll talk to you about what I'm going to speak. Okay, in English Globally Family, I have sent an article of a particular topic that was on the art of minimalism, uh, which we had published it on our website. So everybody of you may know that I belong to a spiritual field, and now basically I'm trying to deliver more and more talks on spirituality. Okay, so this particular topic is also based on the way of living or the art of living. How do you live basically? Okay, and today I'm going to present the introduction part of this particular topic that is called as art of minimalism. Okay, now let us make this particular session very interactive, where I want you guys to be more talking as compared to me. So today, this is a topic which is very general in nature. This is not very difficult to understand, or there will not be any kind of two views on this particular topic. Okay, so let this be topic be very interactive. At the end of the slide, you can please raise your hands and ask me questions, or if you want to tell something, some of your own experiences, you can definitely discuss over here. I will love to hear it from you. Okay, now what do you mean by the art of minimalism? Many people say that I am a minimalist. Okay, I am a minimalist. All right, if even if you have heard on like a lot of people talking about like describing or naming themselves as a minimalist. Now what are these people? Why they call themselves as minimalist? And what does minimalism or being minimalist actually mean? Okay, so let me start with this particular thing. Now, everyone over here, we know that we are suffering from coronavirus pandemic throughout the world, across the world. And it has been a great challenge for every one of us. Okay, so my first question to you is, what invaluable lesson has pandemic taught you? Okay, so as I told that let this be a very open discussion. It will be great if you can answer this question. What invaluable lesson this particular pandemic over the period of one and a half year has really taught you What made you out of it? Okay, that is my
Right.
first question. I would request everyone to answer it in one sentence. That will be great.
So people, you guys raise your hand and give the answer one by one. Come on. So what you guys learn in this kind of, yes, Ijas?
Hello, Dr. Patel. I hope you're okay.
Yes. Ijaz, can you
Yes.
turn on
Yeah,
your
in a
camera if you don't
my
mind?
camera. Okay, can you see me?
Yes, we can
Yes.
see you.
I have not
Okay,
seen you
so
since a long time. That's why I asked you to turn on the camera.
yeah, I've tried to reach you, but I think you were
I'm
busy. But
sorry.
anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, in a nutshell, I would say it taught us something to be separated, not together, but separated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyone
Okay,
else?
Shubham, please give the answer. Hello, Shubham, unmute yourself. Yes.
Yeah, actually, this lesson is teaching a lot of the things. This coronavirus.
Mhm.
Actually, first of all, it is teaching me that uh, we should not run behind the money. Actually, okay,
Okay.
this is very basic thing, and the life is incomplete. Whatever you can do at your home, you should do. You should try to be happy. You should not go any places for find the happiness. Like a lot of the places,
Right.
you can find the happiness in yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Shubham. Yes,
Yeah.
Dr. Dan, please unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning, good evening.
Yes.
Okay, so what invaluable lesson? I would have to say that nothing is for sure, and we shouldn't take anything for granted because no one saw this coming, and we don't know when it would have happened, and here we are. So it's good to just appreciate what we have. I would say that.
Right. Thank you, Doctor. Yes, Shirley, please unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. I learned not to be so sure of everything because we don't know what will happen in the future. So
Right.
everything in this life is temporary.
Right. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your answers. I really appreciate that. Okay. I'll tell you what did I learn from this pandemic. I learned from the pandemic is that nothing is permanent in life. What Dan said was absolutely right, and I also agree with Shirley. Okay, so nothing in the world is permanent, and everything in this particular world is for a particular purpose. Eating challenge. Okay, everything in this world is for a purpose. All right, I will tell, if I tell you since last 1.5 years, if I tell you that I haven't purchased a single t-shirt, will you believe me? I haven't purchased a single piece of cloth. Will you believe me? Okay, I haven't seen any kind of a movie in a theater since last 5 years. Will you believe me? Okay, and if I say that I have not purchased any kind of new fancy stuff since last 2 years, will you believe me? The answer is true. Yes, I haven't purchased any of those good gadgets or things which I really want in my life, but I have not purchased that. Okay, this is the thing which I learned from pandemic. I learned from pandemic is that we can survive very happily on minimum materialistic things. I will repeat, we can survive happily on minimum materialistic things. These materialistic things give us pleasures, but these pleasures are very temporary. They satiate you, but cannot satisfy you. So that is the thing. So we have to understand one thing is this is what pandemic has taught me. Second thing which I experienced is like what Shirley said is I spend much of my time on mountains. Okay, I am also a trekker. I like hiking. Okay, I like trekking, and I spend much of my times on mountains, and that gave me really peace. That really calmed me down. Okay, so these are the things which I really did. So I realized that out of this world, the real happiness which I felt was more connecting with nature. I tried to improve my health. I invested money. I invested my time in my health, in myself. so that my body immunity can be improved and I can fight better against any kind of viruses or diseases around the world. So this is the thing which I am doing right now. Okay. So, and this particular topic is being related to this situation of pandemic. Yeah. Thank you, Jay. I hope you understand my heart. Okay. So what was your priority during these difficult times? So my priority was during this difficult time was to survive. Okay. I think many of you, I think every human being, the first priority is to survive. If I'm not surviving, if I die, what is the use of the huge car I have, a beautiful bungalow I have, a beautiful wife I have? It's no use, right? So the first priority during this difficult time was to survive. And what did I do during this pandemic? As I told you, I spent most of my time with nature. I spend most of my time with my family. I spend most of my time with my close friends in my society. We used to play cricket every day. All right. This is how I used to exercise for around 2 hours a week, 2 hours a day. All right. And before this talk, I was into my exercise zone, and then I came back and I'm talking with you right now. So this is what I have done throughout the pandemic. Okay, I'm a professor, so I used to teach my students also. I used to take lectures also, and I was very happy with this particular moment of time. All right, so this is the things which pandemic has taught me, that you can be happy with minimum things which you have. And this motivated me to write a topic on the art of minimalism. So now, what is minimalism? Minimalism is nothing but you have to survive with only things which you need and do not depend on your wants. So now there is a difference between needs and wants. I want a Mercedes car. I want a huge villa or a bungalow. I want to travel the entire world. I want to go to the space. I want to go to Mars. These are my wants. Okay, these are my wants. I want fancy clothes. I want a beautiful swimming pool outside my house. So these are nothing but my wants. Okay. And what are my needs? I need good quality air. Okay. This is my need. Okay. Because if my priority is to survive, and how do I survive? If I breathe good quality air, I will survive. I need fresh and clean water. I need good cooked food. Are you getting which just gives energy to my body? All right. I need good education. I need good friends. I need peace. I need happiness. Okay. So can you see the difference between wants and needs? Needs are very basic things which we require to survive. And wants, these are nothing but our greed, which we want in our life. Needs, if I meet my needs, I will get satisfied. So today my need was to have dinner. So I had good food in my dinner. I'm satisfied now. Now I can sleep peacefully. But if my want was to have dinner in a 5-star hotel, and if I'm not able to make it to the 5-star hotel, then definitely I will not be happy about it. So can you get the difference between the two, the needs and the wants? The English dictionary says that both the words are very similar. Okay, both the words are very similar, but there is a huge difference. So my wants is this and my need is this. So the wants is of the mind, needs is of the body. I will repeat, the want is of the mind and needs is of the entire body. Needs basically help you surviving, and wants, they will always try to raise your guilt. Okay, let me give you a very good example. Like, let me give you a story. Okay, so there was a yogi. Okay, he was staying in a forest, in a jungle. Okay, so this particular yogi, in his particular hut, he was staying in a hut in a forest. So he just had one earthen pot in his room. Okay, only one single earthen pot in his room. All right, and what he saw is, like, he saw an American tourist entering into his hut. So the American tourist entered the hut and he was astonished to see that there is only one single earthen pot. The yogi does not have a furniture. Yogi does not have a fan. Yogi does not have a water filter. Yogi does not have an air conditioner. Yogi does not have a refrigerator. Nothing he had. So he asked the yogi, why does not you have any of these items? So yogi asked him again, why you don't have all these items right now with you? Then that tourist said, because I am just a tourist. So why would I carry my entire household stuff and come back over here? Why would I do that? Okay, to the answer, yogi answered that I am also a tourist. All right, the yogi answered that I am also a tourist. All of us, we all are tourists on this particular planet. So we have to use the resources of the planet very thoughtfully. Okay, we have to use these resources in such a way that these resources are available to every human being on the planet. So we have to understand what is my need and what is my want. So I have to see that I don't run after my wants and I just concentrate on my needs. Needs will always try to satisfy me. Wants will always try to have stress in me. My want is to have a big car. Okay, so I will be always under stress. I will try to earn more and more money. Okay, I will never be happy. If my need is just a beautiful lunch with my wife or a beautiful dance with my wife, I will be more happy. This is my need. Okay, and if I had a dance with her very peacefully, I will be more satisfied. Okay, but my wants will never make me satisfied. So this is the difference between a want and a need. And the art of minimalism teaches you to identify what is your want and what is your need. Are you getting it, guys? So this is the particular today's topic. And the last point is decluttering. Okay, now in this particular I will try to have a lecture for 2 to 3 times on this particular topic so that many of you can understand this topic in more detail. Okay, so today is just an introduction of this particular topic, which I will cover in 2 hours, basically before 8 o'clock. And later we'll have more sessions on these particular topics. Today we will try to see how to declutter, or today we will talk about only materialistic things in our life, only materialistic things. The materialistic things like this, mobile phones, all right, or any kind of gadgets which I have at home, whatever the things which I use, my spectacles, okay, these earphones, this t-shirt what I'm wearing, any kind of materialistic things. Today we are going to only concentrate on materialistic things. That's it. Okay, Jay, yes, Sashiraj.
Yeah, I have one question. Can you
Yes.
tell me the difference between ambitious nature and want?
Yes, very nice question. Ambitious nature and want. Okay. They basically, your ambitions and your wants go hand in hand. Okay. Needs don't have ambitions. If I tell you an ambitious nature, my ambition is becoming a CEO of a particular company. Okay. So this is an example. All right. So what I will do to be a CEO, I have to slog for 15, 16 hours in a day. I have to work very hard. I have to impress my higher authorities. So from manager, I will become a general manager, then district manager, then like area manager or something like that. And then I will become a CEO or a board of directors and then CEO, something like that. So I have to like climb the ladder. And for that, I have to invest a lot of things in my life. So I have to struggle after becoming CEO also. I have to become let us say the chairman or something like that. So this is a want, actually, the want of an ambitious mind. As I told you that the wants are always created by mind and the needs are always created by the body. I hope Sashiraj, you understood the answer.
Yeah, I think that both are similar. There is no big difference
Can I
between
add
want and
something?
ambitious.
Yes.
Can I
yes.
add something?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's
Please.
Yeah, according to me, the human body is a coexistence of self and body. We are a like coexistence and self and body. And the basic need of body is a food, shelter. And apart from this, whatever we want, it would be our ambition. It would be our desire. If today I have a Audi, and if I'm seeing the Mercedes, so I will thought, how can I purchase them? So our need would never be end. Okay, but the need of the self is
Yes.
Right. The voice is
Okay.
breaking, I guess.
Yes,
Who
your
was
voice is
talking?
breaking. Still 2 people raise their hand. Yes, Dinah, then Iftiar. Everyone.
all
who-
these things.
Yes, sir.
Love.
Thank you for.
Affection, attraction. So it would be a permanent need according to me.
Yes, yes, Shubham. Your voice is breaking in between. Thank you for your thoughts.
Okay.
Yes, Dinah.
Yes, thank you, sir, for giving me a chance. And I would like to ask to Mr. Patel about question. Hi, Mr. Patel. May I ask you something?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
please.
Go on.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I would like to ask you about what the difference being a minimalist and frugal life. Is it similarly or there is a little bit different, or can you explain a little bit about this?
What was the other term you talked about, madam? Frugalite.
Yes, I ask you what the difference between being minimalist and frugal life. Is it similar or something different? Get my point?
Okay. Yes, yes,
Thank
yes,
you,
yes,
sir.
yes.
Thank you, sir.
Being minimalist and being frugalite is almost the
Yes.
similar. I was not aware of the word frugalite, but it says that consumable resources such as food, time, or money, and avoiding waste, lavishness, or extravagance. Yes, they both of me actually they mean the same. Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and it's amazing to know about this kind. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
Iftiar,
very much.
you can unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay, I have one question. Only one.
Abraham, please raise your hand. Don't speak in between. This is for everyone, guys. If you want to ask anything, please
Sir,
raise your question. Yes, if
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, I am a student of English department in first semester. So I have a confusion. There is a difference between motivation and motivational speaker. So, you know, in YouTube, every person go head in motivations, but actual motivation, what is, I don't know. So can you tell
Yes.
about it?
That is different topic we
Thank
will
you.
discuss on other day. Today we are discussing about minimalization. So let's focus on that. Okay, we'll take your question next time. Thank you. Yes, Bolu, you want to ask
Sorry,
question?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, Jay, thanks for giving me the chance. Yeah, my question is that like we all have to require a purpose for living in a life. So if we fulfill our all needs, like it is a like die live or die situation for us. But when it comes on want, like want something which we really want and which we work for it, it's something our aim. But when we require some purpose, because unless we don't have a purpose, we are not here on that platform. We have a purpose to learn English. That's why we are here.
Right.
So I don't understand like what is the difference of purpose. It is equal to want, and I'm a bit confused, sir. I just want a difference.
Okay.
Okay. Bolu, I'll tell you. Do you have electricity at your home?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. That's the reason we are all communicating with each other. So you have a Wi-Fi connection, you have internet connection. So electricity is nothing but energy, right, Bolu?
Right.
So are you generating that electricity, or you are just paying the electricity bill?
No, we are just paying the bill.
Yes, right. You are just paying the electricity bill. You are not generating the electricity. Okay. So now what is the thing is, electricity is nothing but a form of energy. Okay. So if this particular energy is not being utilized in a proper way, okay, it one or the other day, it is going to get extinguished. Let us say petroleum energy, okay, coal energy, or any kind of energy which gives us a comfortable living. So if we are not using our resources in a wise manner as per our need, they will get utilized and we will get extinguished. Am I right? So this is the difference.
Okay.
The purpose in the life should be to make this world a more beautiful place as compared to when you were born. Okay, that should be the purpose. But what we have our ambitions. We want to become so and so. We want to become this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to conquer the entire world, like that. So these are the wants. If you say, my purpose is to make this earth more beautiful. My purpose is to make this earth more greener. I want to reduce the carbon footprint. Okay, that is my purpose. So this is the purpose in life. And if you get this kind of a purpose in life, you will understand that nothing in the world, you will try to become more minimalist with this process. I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah, I feel you, sir. I get it. Thank you, sir.
Yes. When your purpose is for the entire of humanity, that is the true purpose. But if your purpose is just to become a CEO of a company or to buy a Audi or a Mercedes, okay, so that is your want. Okay, it has nothing to do with the entire humanity or society.
Okay, like if it is also like our purpose and want, like we want it to serve to the society, so we can take it as a purpose, but it is in a right manner. So
Right.
I'm a bit confused about it. When it comes on Thanksgiving or feeling gratitude, then we are on a right way. But when it comes on accomplishing on materialistic thing, then it's wrong. Am I right?
No, I'm not against any kind of materialist things over here. Okay, I'm not against any kind of materialist thing, because materials are required for the fundamentals of life. Okay, give me 15-20 minutes over the period of time when I will explain this particular topic. I hope you will understand what I'm really meaning of this topic. Okay, give me some time.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So let's start about with all the materialistic things in the world. Okay. And basically, when we talk about the world, it starts from our own home. Okay. It starts from our house. All right. An average American house, as per the survey, an average American house, if there are Americans, don't feel bad about it, has got more than 3 lakh items in the house. An average American house has got more than 3 lakh items in the house. Okay. Have you just figured it out? How many items do you have in your house? Item means what? A spectacle is an item. A t-shirt is an item. The watch, if you are wearing, is an item. The sandals, the shorts, everything. All the materialistic things you have is nothing but items in your house. These are all the materialistic things. Okay. A cupboard in cupboard you have different kinds of clothes. Okay. Then you have utensils. You have a geyser. You have a refrigerator. You have an air conditioner. Okay. A cooling system. Anything and everything. The toys of your children, all are nothing but just materialistic things. Okay, so if you count an average household, there will be more than 1 lakh items in your house. Have you ever imagined how many items do you use in one day? How many items do you use in one day? It will be only 10 to 15%, not more than that. Okay, so it will be only 10 to 15% of the items we use in one day, and the same items we use it throughout the year. Okay, let me give you an example. My wife asked me like 5 years before, this is a story of 5 years, she wanted a food processor. A food processor is a complete, it has basically a mixer, it has got a juicer, has got different blades to grind, okay, has got dough, it can also mold the dough, it can perform 20 applications. So we went to the market, we purchased a food processor. Okay, last 6 years or 5 years it has been there. Okay, we are only using one of its application, that is only the mixer. There's 19 applications, or the 19 different blades are still not used in my house. Okay, 19 different blades, I have not used them. It is like that as it is. 5 years, 6 years down the line, that particular product is still lying into my house. So this is the unwanted rotting thing in my house. I asked my wife to throw it away, but she is not ready to throw it away. Okay, so that is the thing. So it happens. So we go to a supermarket, we buy certain things which we think that I will use it in the future, and the future does not come. And like the way we go on stuffing our house, like the way we just keep on stuffing our house with unnecessary items. We think that someone will come into our house, let's buy a good crockery. Okay, so if we have guests in our house, we will have good crockery. But pandemic happened, and last 2 years, no guest has come in my house. So what is the use of that crockery? It is just occupying the space. That's it. So usually what happened is that I have a beautiful house. People have beautiful house, and they just go to the supermarket. They buy the stuff. They buy furniture. They buy TV. They buy all those kind of crap which they don't use it, and stuff into the house. And what they feel is that this stuff, they occupy unnecessary space in your house. Okay, and you feel that your house is very small. Now you want a bigger house. So that is your want. This house is very small because it has got a lot of stuff inside it. So I want a big house. Let's earn more and more money. Let me from general manager, let me become a district manager. My salary will increase. And if my salary increase, I will be able to buy a big house. So what did I do? I worked very hard. I became a district manager. My salary increased. I took loan and bought a big house. After getting the big house, what did I do? After getting the big house, I again started buying a lot of stuff, which I was not wanting it. Extra furniture, extra chairs. Are you getting an extra toys for my children? More and more clothes to wear on, which I'm not using it. Are you getting it? So this is what, and same thing happened, that big house after some amount of time will again look like a very small house. And I will still not have space because I'm not able to understand what is my want and what is my need. This is the vicious cycle. This just goes on flowing. I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to say. Are you understanding this? This is where we have to understand what is our need and what is our want. And this is the concept of art of minimalism. Jay, can you go on to the next slide, please?
Sure. I just want to add one sentence in this. Nowadays, our wants are increasing day by day just because of social media. We forgot our basic needs. Just because of social media, our wants are increasing. This was my friend. He has a very nice home. This is my friend. He's going for vacation. This is my friend on social media. You can see several posts. By that way, your wants are increasing day by day and you forgot what's your basic needs. Thank you. That's all I want to share. Now I'm sharing my screen and we'll continue the topic. Yes.
Okay, we'll go to the next slide, Jay.
Yes.
All right. So I told you decluttering. Decluttering is what? It is a process basically. It's a process where you understand these are the things which I don't want. So I can do basically three things about it. Either I can donate it, or I can sell it, or I can discard it. Okay, discarding is not the good option. So what you can do is either you can sell it or either you can donate it as per your understanding. Okay, so that is called as decluttering. Removing the unnecessary items, maybe which you have not used over a period of 1 year. In the future also, you are not going to use it. You are just going to stuff that particular item into your house. So that is called as decluttering the homes. So creeping about the small house, I gave you an example. All right. So we have a small house because we have stuffed with all of things inside it. And the moment we start decluttering, the moment we start removing all this unnecessary items, you will see that a lot of space has been created. That small house will look very big. Okay. And in that space, what you can do? You can do yoga, you can do meditation, you can do gymming, you can do exercise, you can dance, because you have a lot of space over there to utilize because you have removed all the unnecessary stuff. If you come to my house, I have the least furniture in the entire world, which I just need. I have kept that thing. That's it. Now, no more extra furniture, which I require. So I have got a lot of space in my living room. I dance in my living room very openly. I get a lot of space, even if my house is very small. All right. Second thing is that generation of negative energies. What happens is if a particular stuff lies into your house, which is not utilized over a long time, it generates negative energies. All right. Basically, I'll repeat one more time. If any materialistic thing which is lying into your house, which is not utilized over a long period of time, it will generate negative energies. Okay. So it's better you use the things on a regular basis, or you discard them, donate them, or sell them. Third thing is that creation of dust. The more we accommodate, actually we are inviting more dust. So if there are a lot of stuff into your house, you will not be able to clean your house very nicely. You will not have space to go around into the corners and clean it properly. All right. And that will create dust into your house. Okay. That will make your house more dirty. And decluttering gives you extra space. And these particular extra space, you can use it for positivity. All right. So this is called about decluttering of your homes. Jay, can we go on to the next slide? I will give time for the questions and answers. I just wanted to finish this particular slide. All right, now we already had a particular topic on energy last time. This is a continuation of that particular topic, which I can introduce over here in the art of minimalism, a law of energy. We had understood that so far, whatever we feel, we smell, we taste, we see, everything in the world is nothing but energy. Everything in this world is nothing but energy. All right. And I will tell you one thing, even your thoughts, which you think are nothing but energy. These are also energy. More you accumulate things, whether physical or mental, okay, the more you have possession of energy. All right. Okay. The more you try to accumulate the things, the more you will have the possession of energy. Different examples to understand the law of energy. Okay. I will tell you one thing. If, as I told you, if you are not utilizing the things and just keep on buying the unnecessary stuff and you just store them into your house, what you will observe that you create negative energies. Means the law of energy says that the energy should always be free flowing. The energy should always be free flowing. Okay, let me give you an example. If there is a lake, a pond, okay, the pond is usually green in color. Okay, why green? Because the algae is formed over it. Okay, the pond is usually green in color, the algae is formed over it. Okay, because the water in the pond is always stagnant, it does not move. But when we talk about a river, there will not be any algae formation. Why? Because the river is continuously flowing. Hence, the river energy is always positive, whereas the pond's energy is not that positive. Same thing happens when your energy is free flowing. Okay, I will tell you one example. If I eat a lot of stuff, day and night, I just keep eating pizzas, burgers, all junk food. If I just keep on eating, what will happen? And if I don't exercise at all, what will happen? I will increase my weight. I will become obese. I will invite a lot of diseases, maybe heart attack, maybe cholesterol, lot of diseases. Am I right? So this is nothing but the law of energy being stored. Food is nothing but energy. I'm just storing the food in the form of energy into my body, but I'm not exercising. When you exercise, it starts, what happens? When you exercise, it becomes free flowing. The energy is utilized. It becomes free flowing. Okay, and it starts flowing. So that is the advantage. All right, this was one of the examples. So the law of the energy says that it should always be free flowing. If it is halted, stagnated, it becomes contaminated. Okay, I have one more survey over here in order to explain you why. Okay, now one thing, as Jay told, because of the social media stuff, we have now looking at Jay has a car, so I should also bring a car. So we have just trying to copy our friends and we are trying to buy the stuff, the things which we need. Okay, but why do we do that? There is a reason behind this. Okay, let me tell you. All of you must be aware about Industrial Revolution. Okay, all of you are aware about the Industrial Revolution. Before Industrial Revolution, how was the life? And after Industrial Revolution, how is the life? Okay, before Industrial Revolution, the production in the factories, in the companies, okay, or in the warehouses was very small before Industrial Revolution. Okay, before the electricity was invented, maybe around 200, 250 years back. Okay, so during that time, people used to have a habit of hoarding the things. People used to store the things inside the house because the winter is coming, they will not find anything outside. So they had to store food for 6 months. Are you getting it? They used to store grains. They used to store a lot of things for 6 months, 8 months, maybe for a year. So people have that habit of storing the stuff, hoarding the stuff. Okay, this is what used to happen. All right. But after Industrial Revolution, what happened? The productivity increased. There were machines. Then they could produce a lot of amount of things. Okay, grains, and a lot of Industrial Revolution really helped for agriculture production to increase. Not even agriculture production, but the stuffs we use, soaps, shampoos, detergent, washing powders, the bags, anything, you name it, shoes. Are you getting the clothes? Anything. Because of Industrial Revolution, the production process become more fast. So what happened is that people now do not need to hoard the things. But still, because of the old psychology, we are still in the process of holding the things. We are still in the process of holding the things. So that is what happened with before and after industrial revolution. Now, next came is neuromarketing. Now I'll tell you what is neuromarketing by advertising companies. All right. So people already had a habit of holding the things and buying unnecessary stuff. Next, the advertisement agencies, if you look at any ad, if you must have seen any kind of ad, after looking at that ad, they make you feel that you have something missing in your life. Okay, if you read, I mean, like if you see any kind of an ad, okay, they make you feel that if you do not buy this particular product, you are missing something in your life. All right, if you let me give you an example. If you see a health drink ad, okay, if you are giving this particular health drink to your children, their mind will grow, their size will also grow, the height will grow. And if you do not give this health drink to your children, their height will not increase. If you apply this particular cream on your face, you will become more fair and you will look more beautiful. What a stupid concept is that? What beauty has to do with fairness? Okay, then if you use this particular oil, you will become more slim. Your cholesterol will reduce. Are you getting it? So if you see any kind of advertisement right now, they are basically playing with your brain. And that is called as neuromarketing. They make you feel more vulnerable. They make you feel more miserable. They make you say that you have to buy this particular stuff. And if you don't buy this particular stuff, your life is not going to be good. Are you getting it? So they make you see that this is the particular mobile phone. Oh, that is not good. That is very old. It's just 6 months old. Why don't you buy this particular mobile phone? It has got all the features, maximum features. Buy this one. So you go for that thing. So this is the effect of the advertisement agencies or advertisement industry, which is playing with our mind. And that is the reason when you go to a supermarket, okay, you end up buying the things which you don't want. So that is called neuromarketing by advertisers agencies. If you adopt the art of minimalism, you will understand that what is the thing which I want, which I need. Okay, you go to a supermarket, you will buy only that much amount of stuff which you need. You will not be in the process of holding the things. Okay, and this advertising industries will not have any control over your mind. You will buy what is actually really you want it. That's it. Okay, so that is nothing but adopting the art of minimalism. Okay, I request if you have any questions, please tell me.
Starting with Azita, you raise your hand, please.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Patel. At the first, you said there is difference between needs and wants, right? But
Yes.
I think it's different between people. For example, something for some people are need or wants. Okay, for another people, all of things is needs. It's I think
it is relative. It is relative, Ajita. What I meant was, see, your need can be a Mercedes car. My need can be only a bicycle. Okay, so it depends on the person. Yes, it depends on the person. What is his need, basically? Okay, if you want to travel faster, your need will be an aeroplane. Okay, if you have less amount of time. So the need can vary with respect to time, and the needs can vary, and it depends on the individual. Every individual will have the same needs, not possible. Yeah.
Yeah, for example, maybe you are very satisfied with your bike, okay? But another people has the car, but that car, he or she is not happy with his car, okay? And his brain cannot be happy with his car because that car maybe expensive car for you it's a want, but for him, no, it's the need. It makes difference between, and I think it's reason we can have minimalism word because of this reason, because our dream, our brain is different. Our
Right.
wishes is different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, I
So
totally agree with you.
right. So
What you said was absolutely
I will transfer in proper example. Suppose, suppose you can consider a normal person like me. After certain age, we grow up from cycle to bike, bike to car. Now, cycle is not my need. Cycle is not my need at present, but I want for exercise. So I will purchase the I will purchase the bicycle, but with so much heavy cost, around 10,000, 15,000. But for the same thing, cycle for other person, that is his basic need. So it vary from person to person, right?
yes. You are using cycle for your exercising.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And basically, a poor man will be using it for its day-to-day activities or day-to-day going to the office or working. Okay.
Right.
So it basically, see, that's the difference between two things: the rich and the poor. Okay. A rich eats a lot and goes to the gym to work out.
Right.
Okay. And a poor, in his old day, he does not need to go to the gym. Whole day he is working so much. All right. Whatever he eats is digested.
Right.
Or is consumed. All right, that's the reason for a rich person to goes to a gym and has to pay money to reduce the weight.
Right.
Whereas a poor fellow does not have to do that.
Okay, thank
Dr.
you.
Patel, I think for this reason we can say one plan for all of people for minimalism. For example,
Yes,
maybe
we can say that.
you go to-
Asita,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, but yes, it is possible. I'll tell you how. There cannot be a single roadmap for all of us. Okay,
Yeah.
everybody's plan should be different and it should be individual. I believe in individuality. As I told you that if you want to reach somewhere very fast, okay, you have to go by aeroplane. There is not a choice. Okay, but you have to keep that thing in mind. How much things are you affecting your peace? See, you have to set your priorities first in your life. Whether you are rich or whether you are poor, you should have your priorities. If your priority is peace, if your priority is happiness, you will not find in materialistic things. I'm sure everybody will be agreeing on to this stuff. You will never find happiness in materialistic things, because these materialistic things, when they last, because everything is going to expire. So when they expire, you will again become unhappy and you will become more miserable. So these materialistic things, basically, they send you into the more downward state when as compared to the upward state. All right. So coming back to Azita, I'm sorry. The plan is that you have to identify your need. If you need a very good car, that is your need. You have to identify it. Okay. And you have to make sure that your mental peace is not affected. Okay. Your mental peace is not affected in order to fetch that particular car. That is my want. And if your mental peace is affected, then it is your want. It is not your need. Means the material things are controlling you. You are not controlling them. That is the thing. If
Unfortunately, Dr. Patel, I don't agree with you, because I think we don't train people for being minimalism because we can control them, especially their brain. We can control it, but we can one thing that we can learn and train them is enjoy all of things you have. It's possible, but being minimalism, I think it's not possible. It's my opinion.
It is. I'm not asking you to stay on. See, I have seen a lot of articles where people write that being minimalism is like you have to spend your life with only 100 items. Okay, that is the definition of being minimalism. But no, that is torture. That is not minimalism. Like there are people in the world who are spending their entire lives only with 100 items in their house. In my house, there will be more than 50,000 items right now. Let me tell you that. Okay, when I am saying that I am a minimalist. Okay, over here, being very frank with you. So everybody's plan will be different. Everybody's needs will be different. And because God has created brain of every individual in a different way. So he will think in a different way. So if it is a need of the hour, if you don't have a time, you go by plane. But if you have a time and the distance is less, you go by a bicycle. Why do you even start the car and pollute the environment? You think about the environment. If you have time, go by a bicycle. It will improve your health. And if you don't have a time, you go by plane. So this is the thing. So on that particular moment of time, you have to decide. Right now, I cannot decide that for the rest of my life, I will only use this 100 items. No, that is wrong. That is not the plan. Okay, because I don't know what tomorrow will come. Okay, if I had an accident and if I lost my legs, I will need a wheelchair. Okay, so that will be my need. So that was not the item in my list right now. Okay, so I have to buy that one. So will not be I a minimalist? No. So the topic over here, which I'm trying to convey, is that you consciously take a decision whether you want this thing to buy or you do not want to buy. That's it. The choice is of the individual. I'm not forcing anybody to become an individualist. You just ask yourself whether I do really need to buy this item or I do not need to buy the item. That is the point, Azita.
But I think for this reason, this purpose, if we learn people, train them, for example, when you buy something in your life, you enjoy, entire enjoy from that stuff and something that you buy, you enjoy totally. Okay, it's better than we say be minimalism, because when they enjoy that thing they bought, I think it's okay. It will be okay that they don't think about anything. I think it's not necessary to remind them some stuff, stay some room in your home, and maybe it make a lot of bad energy, negative energy in your home, and free flowing energy isn't in your home. I think it's not necessary we explain this kind of sentences, this kind of explanation to them. When we say when you need something and you think something is good for you, buy it, okay, and enjoy it, entire enjoy. It's okay. I think it's definition of minimalism, because they are very happy about.
Yes, I got your point, Azita. What I am talking about over here is if you're buying a stuff and you are just stuffing it in your house and you're not utilizing it, aren't you wasting your money? One thing. Money wasted is okay. You have the power to buy that stuff, so you can even waste it. That is fine. But second thing is that, did you ever imagine how much amount of energy is used to produce that product? Let us say car. You bought a car in lockdown condition where you are not using it. Okay, you just get your car and you are just parked in your bungalow. Okay, you are not even driving any car. Okay, so have you ever imagined the amount of energy being utilized to produce that car? The amount of steel which is used, the amount of plastic which is used, the amount of resources which are used. So I'm talking about that. Okay. So if we have to take a conscious decision about buying the stuff initially, this particular art of minimalism is not only concentrated only on the materialistic things. This is also concentrated the way you live. You have to declutter your house with the material stuff, as well as you have to declutter your brain or your mind with unnecessary thoughts. You have to clean that thing. That is also art of minimalism. Okay. Fourth thing, you have to declutter the unwanted relationships in your family or in your social circle. You have to understand that. And fifth one is how to cultivate a positive way of thinking. So this is the entire topic which I'm going to discuss over a period of time. So it is not just about not buying this particular stuff. As I respect your feelings and understanding, and I really agree with it, what you said is 100% correct. But over here, we are trying to discuss is, I have to take a conscious decision whether I want this particular thing or not. I can buy, I have money, I can buy. I can make my entire house centrally AC, air conditioned. I can pay the electricity bill. Okay, but if my body is not able to bear that kind of heat, means I am weak, 30 degrees, 32 degrees. But if it is unbearable, I'm getting disease, then I need an air conditioner. I have to use it. So this is the difference. So you take a conscious decision whether you want to buy that stuff or not. And if you're buying it, use it 100%. If you're buying any t-shirt, try to wear it until and unless it becomes very old. Okay, that is the 100% utility of using a particular item. Let me give you a joke about it. In India, if you buy a t-shirt, okay, I'll tell you about my country. If you buy a t-shirt, okay, You wear the t-shirt. Then after that, your younger brother will also wear the t-shirt. Okay, it passed on to generations. Okay, Jay, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
Okay?
yes, absolutely.
After that,
Yes, sir.
we wear that particular t-shirt on the day of
Good
Holi.
example.
Okay, for colors. Okay,
Right.
and after that, that particular t-shirt, our mother will be using it as a pocha. I
Right.
don't know, for sweeping
Cleaning.
purpose.
For sweeping the
Cleaning
floor.
and sweeping purpose.
Right.
So that
It's
is
true.
100%
like a mop.
utilization. Yes, of all the things. So you
Right.
buy the thing, but do not keep it. That is the point.
Right.
And the
Okay.
moment you keep it, it's a waste of energy.
Yeah, but sometimes it comes back the mind problems. Okay, for example, psychologists say some kind of people have this problem about this kind of behavior. Maybe they can't control themselves. For example, for buying something that they don't need it.
Right.
They know they don't need it, but they buy it.
Kind of
I think
phobia.
you have
That is kind of phobia.
Yeah.
Not
It's-
Jay, not phobia, addiction. Addiction.
Addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, addiction. They have this kind. They need treatment. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
A lot of road involved in this behavior.
Yes, thank you, Azita, for special questions and special your thoughts. Always amazing. Let other people also.
I say one thing that Azita always makes me think. When
Okay.
she's on the question, when she's asking question, my heart rate is increasing.
Yeah, we need this kind of person in our group, right? Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, and I really
Yeah,
like.
because I
Azita
have
for that.
one colleague. My colleagues has a lot of expensive plate in her house. Okay, but they were very expensive, and she used them. She doesn't use them at all. Then I went to her house. Sometimes I shocked that expensive, for example, plate. Why she doesn't use it? Okay, she said I'm addicted to buying something like that. Okay,
Right.
I think she needs treat.
Right. She
I
needs a
see, yeah.
psychological treatment, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Azita, for providing your thoughts. Let other people also ask. So Anita raised her hand. Yes, Anita, you can ask now.
Yeah, so I'm listening, and so many things.
Yeah. So you forget
Yeah,
your question?
according to no, actually, it's not like a question. I just wanna discuss and I wanna share something. What I learned from my life and to looking the things, and so yeah, exactly like Ajita, whatever she speaking in front of all of us. So like once was a time I also thought like this to gather the things, materialistic things. So that time actually I bought also like a grinder, mixer, food processor. So after bought that processor, I know the value of the only for dough or knitting, that kind of sometimes the chopping, either not using any kind of different kind of activities for what for D provides. That means mixer grinder. So
Right.
means then after I got means no need at all. That kind of only like a mixer grinder and also juicer. I'm not preferring the juicer. You know, means juicer is a we can't snatch the whole fruit juice from through that juicer.
Right.
So our hand is more better. Like means minimal things there are can buy. So if we know means for me minimalism is like art of living. If we know how we can live, and it is an art. It's an art. Yeah, if we know the things and what is the important for our life, what is the important for our life and what is not. But there is a one thing before get and after get. Before get the products and all material things, people can't aware. People, they are not awareing about how much they actually need for that particular materialistic thing. After buying, they know this is not usable for me at all. So it's happened to me many times in my entire life, and I know the things when I goes to outside for shopping and all. So now, not nowadays, from many years, I know what is need to buy actually for my life. So
Right.
not now I'm not gathering the things in my home, and I want to keep my home more spacious, because yeah, exactly means if we are not healthy from within, so what is the mean? That means there are no reason to gathering the things if we are not healthy. We so yeah, in kitchen also means there are in market so many varieties of utensils are, and crockeries and many things. Through that all means cutting pillar every when I go. So before I thought, okay, this how they are advertising their products. I thought, okay, it's also important. Sometimes I bought. Then after I bought, then I got that means no need to use at all, because I can't use like them. So they are doing only for advertising. It's not for me. Living life means it's not important.
Right.
So that then after I thought means nowadays whenever I go means even I prefer to other my friends also, no, it's no need. It's a wasting of money also, and wasting of time also at home, because you know in a with our hand, if we are knitting dough, then means it's we know that consistent, and it's good for our not only health. Oh, sorry, it's a little bit of exercise. It's good, but you know after knitting that fruit processor means and more time need to.
Okay.
Anita, you have become mute.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that kind of things means, yeah.
Yeah, thank you,
So I
Anita.
got that all of things.
So providing your personal experience, this kind of experience faced by many women in everywhere. You know, they went to shop market, they went to a mall for buying particular things, but they are buying, you know, so many different things apart from that thing.
Unnecessary things.
Unnecessary
And
thing.
one more thing.
Yeah.
And one more thing, many people they are means buying their workout for health, sustain their good health. They buying so many gyms related to gyms thing.
Right.
In their
And that
home.
is
So it is
totally not
necessary. It's
necessary.
not
Right. Thank
not
you,
necessary,
Anita.
because in a home.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are little bit short of time. We really appreciate your thoughts.
Okay.
And we'll need to give chance other people also. Thank you. Yes,
Anita,
Shashiraj.
one thing,
Yeah.
Anita, one thing I really liked about you is you said a very good line about experiences. Unless and until the person experiences these things, he will not realize that does he really need this stuff or not. Okay, for having those experiences, the most important thing is the consciousness of using that particular thing. Okay, so if you bought that particular thing and you see that, if you're conscious enough that it is just lying into your house and you are not utilizing it, better never buy it again, such stuff. Okay, so yes, I really like your thinking, the way you are thinking. It's absolutely appreciating. Thank you.
And one more thing that is the most important thing. Minimalism is okay. Yeah, we can live our life with minimalism, but yeah, something is also important in our life, that material things. But now I prefer, and for me and other also, to buy. Then when that the particular moment will come in our life, that one become one convert to a need. So that time we should buy that that particular thing for our need, not for our want.
Right.
So
Thank
that
you.
will. So till then we should wait.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Anita, for providing your thoughts on this topic. Yes, Shashiraj, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I want to say something. Yeah, very first, thank you, Mr. Dhananjay. You have given such a nice topic to us. And we came to know about minimalism and minimalist. And the thing is that, yes, of course, we all should be minimalist, because many times we buy so many things from the market and these things are not useful and we waste our time. And if you talk about the flip side of the topic, very first we need to categorize the people in the class. We have poor people, below the poverty line, we are middle class people, and we are rich, and few people are industrialists, business tycoon, right, and celebrities. So these things are for middle class people or poor people. They all should be minimalist because they have limited resources. We have limited money. We should think 100 times before buying anything. And if you talk about the industrialist, businessmen, celebrities, they buy so many things. They have 50 cars. They have so many houses. You talk about the Ambani's house. He has spent like billions of money and he is not living there. So they have wasted their money. They have not thought about that like that. I am just a little bit confused. So I think that you can explain about this, that celebrities, they buy so many cars they have collected, but they use only one car. They live only one house. Many people, they buy so many properties and they live in one place and they die.
Even Sashiraj, a middle class person also buy
Wait, Jai,
iPhone.
Jai, wait, don't interrupt, right?
No,
Wait, Jai.
I am just arguing you the thoughts which you are providing, that middle class person also buying iPhone. Is that need or is that want?
See,
You are
that's
comparing.
not the topic.
You are comparing.
That's not the thing.
Anil
That's
Ambani.
not the thing.
So that's why I'm
Wait, Jai.
telling you.
Okay, you speak first.
No, I am just giving only one
Sashiraj,
example.
you speak.
Okay, guys. Okay, request Sashiraj, can you just put in your question in one sentence? Sashiraj?
Yeah, my question was that being a minimalist for poor people, middle class people, all right? And if you talk about the flip side of the topic, right? So there are celebrities and rich people. They buy so many things because they have capacity of buying, right? They have come to that level after working so much hard. And now they are buying so many things. Many things are useless. They are buying antique items and they are putting those items in their houses. They are not useful.
Right.
Okay, that I'm talking about.
Yes.
So I've just got this kind of confusion. So I just got the answer. I just want answer from you.
Okay, I got your question. Let me give you two examples. First example is Mr. Ratan Tata. He is an industrialist. Okay. And where he is also a kind of a person who believes in minimalism. Okay. Second example is Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. The founder of the Facebook. He is also a billionaire. Okay. But have you seen Mark Zuckerberg basically only utilizes only 2 or 3 types of t-shirts in his whole life. Okay. Where you can talk it as a costume also. And he also believes in the principle of minimalism. And our former president, Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, he's the best example which I can give who follows the path of minimalism. All right, coming for your example of Mukesh Ambani. Mukesh Ambani is a very rich person. Let us say Bill Gates, or let us say Elon Musk or Mukesh Ambani. Let's talk about them now. Okay, these guys can afford to buy the products. Even you maybe afford to buy some kind of products. Okay, now these products are nothing but energy actually. Okay, as I told you, you can centralize air conditioned your entire house. Okay, but you can pay the bill. You have the capacity to pay the bill. But do you have the capacity to generate that energy? No, we don't have that. I have the capacity to pay the money for that particular utilization of the resources. But I don't have the capacity to generate the resource. Okay, I can have 10 different kinds of plane, but can I generate steel? Can I produce steel? The amount of steel that our particular Earth planet has, it has certain quantity of steel. Okay, but I cannot produce steel. Are you getting it? I can buy steel with the money which I have, but I cannot produce steel. So these guys also have to understand. Now, I can give you one more example. Mukesh Ambani, he is very rich. So he has Z plus security around him. So there are around 70-80 people who are trying to protect him. Now that is his need. It is not his want. He does not want to show off to the world that 70 people or 70 bodyguards with arms and ammunition are protecting him. He has to survive. Otherwise, he just goes on the road. People will kill him. Are you getting it? There will be many enemies of him who will try to kill him. So that becomes his need. And why it became his need, as Anita said it right, that sometimes we have to convert our wants into need. So this is the example where for you may be having a want that there should be security guards around you, but it is a need for Mukesh Ambani. So this is what I was trying to explain, Azita, also. It depends upon an individual. What is his need and what are his wants? So he has to come to a conclusion before buying any stuff. I hope, Shashiraj, I have given your answer.
Yes,
so there
yes,
are
of
people
course.
who
Of course,
understand the
yeah.
needs, they go along with it. Okay. And there are people who just keep on stuffing their homes. And because the level of consciousness, the level of awareness is not that great. That is the reason.
You know,
Shashiraj, they
Dhananjay,
keep on buying the stuff. But
okay.
yes, yes.
All right, you first. You complete first.
No, I'm done. Yes,
Okay.
this is what
I'm
I
just
want to
saying
say.
one thing that, you know, many times people buy many things only for showing their capacity of power. Many people, they do.
Yes.
Like they have capacity of buying 3-4 cars. So they buy. They know only that they can run only one car. They can use only one car. But for showing the people, they have the capacity, they are rich. For showing these things, they buy many things. But they are useless. But they never think about that. It's necessary to buy this kind of many things in their home or not. So many people, they do all these things. They buy the antique items. These are useless. There is no any kind of use, but they are in their home for showing the people,
Right.
and that's it. They always show that they have lots of capacity of buying many things. They have lots of money. So for that matter, they do these kind of things.
Right.
But being a minimalist, I just agree with all the points which you have given you.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much.
I just want
Thank
to
you.
discuss in this thing that you mentioned, Shashiraj, that you should divide, divide in this case, like some in higher middle class and lower middle class and middle class and some rich people. So it affect every individual. Art of minimalism is not only for middle class person; it's for everyone. It's for it's not only for
No. I mean to say that many people, they buy the thing to show their power.
No, you start when you start
to show. Yeah, this is the thing. Right.
at that
Actually, the
time-
thing was you interrupted in between, and I could not complete. That's why you just started speaking.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you for your thoughts. Okay, Dan, you want to ask questions? Then Isabel. After Dan, you can provide your thoughts.
Hello, I
Okay.
promise I'll make it brief.
Oh
I
no.
just
I'm hello, how are you?
Okay.
I was
Yes, Isabel.
waiting a lot.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I
please.
was waiting a lot.
Yeah, please.
I think that all of people are different. Okay, we have to start in here, and all of us want different things, in our life. No, in some cases, I think that they are happy with money. Yes, because they consider the money and the things it is the most important in their life. Okay, we have to think that, because it is important. But for example, for me, I am agree. I need my to relax, and I have to part of my time with me, and I stay with no material, a lot of material things. In this case, I am agree, okay, but I'm thinking that some people are not like this, and they don't care this, because they are happy with this, and they do all of things to have this, to have money and to have things.
and they are happy to do it.
Right.
And it is so difficult to understand, to be generous. Okay. For example, I have to travel. Well, this is I have to have money. Yes, but if I have a problem, for example, if I don't have a TV, well, I work, but I'm going to have a TV. Yes, it's not my problem now, and I have to do it and have the last T-shirt. And I'm not agree that the only woman spent a lot of money. I knew men spend money in unnecessary things for me, for example, and this is in their mind, in their mind of the human mind. We are so different, and we try to do we try to help people, and in some cases they want to be helped. Okay,
right.
They want to be okay. Because I think like you, for example, but I knew people that don't think like me.
Right. So it varies from person to person. It varies from person to person. Yes. Thank you, Isabel, for providing your thoughts on this topic. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes, Dan, you want to add on something on this topic quickly? Yeah, you need to.
Yes, please. Yes. I'll be very brief. So I've been hearing a lot of wants versus needs on a material level, which of course is the most concrete to us. And I think you're going to get into this a little bit later, but also wants and needs on an emotional level. And Shashira just touched on that, how maybe on an emotional level, we feel like we need people to know that we have things. And that's why from there we go outwards. Something that you guys said in the beginning was, if you want happiness, you're probably not going to find it on something temporary. So I just think that's very interesting. I think that minimalism can start by observing from the materialistic side, but then when we get deeper, we know that it's more of a emotional thing as well.
Right. Thank you for your wonderful thoughts. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Bolu, you want to add on?
Yeah, I wanted to add something. Like we know it is, if in a simple language we get it, our wants and our needs. But there is like big companies and big perfectionists out there. We are advertising and doing so much research of our mind. So when they create an advertisement, they turn our want into our need. Like when we saw that advertisement, then our mind was thinking it is our need. So at that time, we have to fulfill our needs. Our mind was thinking that it is our need. And like, if I listen to all of you guys, it's become like really concrete. So we have to focus on our need and fulfill it. So they turn our want into need. So at that time, how to differ and separate it? Like it is our need, because at that time they are motivate us to go and procure that thing. And it is your need. It is not your want. It is need for you. And they keep motivating for us through their advertisement. So at that time, they motivate us at a mental level.
Right.
So at that time, we are not in a state to describe it is our want and it is our need. So how we can just differ and like make it separate and able to make our decision at that time? Oh my God, this is not my need, this is my want. But how would it like turn my want into my need? So how we can just handle that thing? I just wanted to ask Dhananjay sir.
Okay, Bolu, this you have to ask yourself. Okay, I will not be the right person to answer this. You have to ask yourself, when you are going to buy something, what will you do with this particular thing? Do you really need that thing or not? And if your heart says, no, I don't want to, okay, it is just for showing off to someone, as what Shashirat said, okay, or in order to satisfy your ego, you are purchasing that thing, or in order to just showcase to your friends or relatives or something like that. then there is no need to buy that stuff. But if you really want that thing, okay, in your life, you have to do that. One thing, let me tell you, friends, I do not have a television in my home since last 12 years. Okay. Yes, I do not have a television since last 12 years. So I'm 35 years of age right now. And since last, maybe 12 or maybe 15 years, I do not have a television. So I haven't purchased one. Okay. So this is one thing. Second thing, I used to travel on my bike or my car, but because of the lockdown, I'm not using my bike anymore or car anymore. I'm just everywhere, wherever, if I want to go in the radius of 10 kilometers, I only go with my bicycle. Okay, I do not use my bicycle as for exercising purpose, but for buying the vegetables, buying the groceries and stuff. Okay, so in the radius of 10 kilometers, if I have to travel, I just take my bicycle and go. Being in the city of Mumbai, where there's a lot of traffic and pollution, bicycle is not a good advice, but still many people have started using bicycles for daily commutation. And this helps in saving our environment. Okay, so that is one thing. 3 months or 4 months before, me and my wife throw away the refrigerator from our house. We sold it. Okay, yes, we sold our refrigerator. So that was also one of the things. And now what we don't need any refrigerator in our house, because we are able to, we are not storing our vegetables in the refrigerator. We keep it outside. We buy vegetables only for 1 day or 2, and then we again go to the market and again we buy it. This is what we do. So this is the now life we are living right now. And that's the reason we call ourselves as minimalist. Right. So that is the thing. So you have to realize, you have to understand what is really needed in your life. Okay, if I want to travel to US, I cannot go walking. I have to use an aeroplane. That is my need. Okay, that is everybody's need. So you have to understand the difference between your need and your wants. And you are the right person to answer that. No one else can answer on your behalf.
Okay.
Yes, someone raised the hand. Yeah. Or should we move ahead in the presentation?
Yeah,
Can I finish my presentation first?
Yeah,
then we can have more discussion.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, so as I've told you, the art of minimalism, it's an art. Okay. Anita also said it right. It's an art. Okay. Where you have to keep practicing throughout your life. Okay. So this art of minimalism is not only based on materialistic things. This first topic was only based on the materialistic things. Second way, we will understand the way of living. When we'll discuss more in coming chapters. Okay. We will discuss what is its way of living. Living with a clean environment. All right. Nowadays, we know that ozone has depleted, carbon footprint has increased to a great extent. Okay. And a lot of carbon dioxide emissions are taking place. And because of which the earth is becoming more and more hotter. So how do we, how the art of minimalism will help in cleaning our environment in order to have a better environment? Mark my words, environment is nothing but, it is nothing which we have inherited from our ancestors. Environment is what we have taken it from our children. Okay, I'll repeat my sentence again. Environment is not the thing which we have got from our ancestors, okay, from our fathers, but it is a thing which we have borrowed from our children. Okay, so if we are not able to protect our environment right now, our children will not get a clean and green environment. All right, that is the thing. Then the art of minimalism also deals with minimum use of water and food for our healthy living. Okay, during this pandemic, now we know that we have to wash our hands very carefully. But now people staying in the house also, they wash their hands 24 times a day. What is the need for washing the hands 24 times a day when you are not gone out of the house? So you have to be conscious. There is no need to wash the hand when you are in the house for 24 hours a day. That's it. And every time when you use the soap while washing the hands, you are polluting the groundwater which flushes down. Are you getting it? So that is also another disadvantage of using those chemicals on your hand. So this is the minimum use of food. And food, you have to take your food also. In my country, food is treated as food is something which is treated like, it is not treated like a fuel which recharges your body. Fuel is not treated like a fuel which recharges your body. fuel is like an occasion, like a celebration. It is treated like a celebration, and people tend to eat up more and more stuff as compared to what they want actually. Japanese people, they have a process. Many of you must have read this book, The Art of Living, as an ikigai. Okay, it's a Japanese book, Ikigai. If you have read that book, I've read that book. It's a wonderful book. Basically, it says that the amount of food entering your body should only be 80% of your requirements. And if you are able to do that, you will get more than 100% of satisfaction. I request all of you to go to this book, okay, and then come up with it. It's a very nice book, Ikigai, 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 the Japanese way of living. Okay, and this way of living really makes you really very healthy. All right, so that is the point. Can we go on to the presentation, Jay? Just last 2 points, or maybe one. Yeah, and decluttering of your unhealthy relationships. Same way, if you're getting rid of the stuff which you want, get rid of the stuff which is always hampering you emotionally. Now, unhealthy relationships is only about emotions. Okay, so you are not wanting this kind of people in your life. Just try to declutter them. And last is developing an art of positive thinking. Okay, so basically this is what do you say? The art of minimalism is not only related to the materialistic things, it is related to the entire way of living. So this we will discuss in the further chapters. If you have any doubts and questions, I will be loving to answer them. Thank you.
Sure, Doctor. Thank you very much for having this wonderful session. And as we are lack of time, and people immediately, if you have any questions, we have 5 minutes more, so you can directly ask questions within 5 minutes, so we can finish these sessions and we can continue this kind of sessions by every Monday whenever we get time, right? So this is all about the minimalizations which we learned today, and I really appreciate all of you guys that you join and you actively participates in this meeting. If you anybody have any thoughts in your mind, you can directly say and you can ask question also. We still have 5 to 10 more minutes. Please, you can raise your hand and you can provide your thoughts. I have only one thoughts. I consider Mahatma Gandhi is a perfect example who is living his life as a art of minimalization person. Mahatma Gandhi is also one of them. Okay. Anybody
I'm posting this
wants
book
to
on the chat box as requested by one of the fellow mates. So that is the name of the book in the chat box. You refer this particular book, A Secret to Long and Happy Life, Ikigai. Okay, this is available on Amazon also, and you may find it in a PDF form also.
Right. Okay.
So
So you guys just, you guys just think about, the things which you are not gonna buy, but you buy. Every person has one thing in your home, one thing at your pocket. Just remember that thing which you are not going to buy, but you buy just for sake of, showing to someone, just for social media, just for fun, right? But then you are not able to utilize that thing properly. If you want to share any that kind of things which is right now available in your home, that is also a good example if you want to share. Okay. Yes, Eduardo, I can see your smile. There are so many things at your home. I can feel.
Yes, I have a lot of books at home that I didn't read yet, that I have received them.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And
yes,
but also we can see that there are many things that people buy that they don't really need. Yes, it may be a lot of things like a necklace, a bracelet, earrings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There are so many things right now. Agree. Thank you. Okay. So guys, anybody wants to have any questions, please otherwise we will call up the sessions by having wonderful photograph.
Jay, as I told you in the beginning that I want to ask one question to all of
Yes,
you.
yes.
All right. So I'll just take 1 minute. Now my question to all of you is, are you all ready to have a life of a minimalist? Or can we have a pledge? It is not a compulsion. Can we have a pledge, or can we have an understanding that from today onwards we have realized the importance of living like a minimalist? So we will try to become a minimalist. Yes or no, friends?
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
up to you.
may I answer? Yeah,
Yes.
hello.
Yes.
I would like to give your answer. Actually, in India, if you see in a rural part, so all the people are living in minimalized. They are not more requirement. So if we get the ideal concept from the rural part, so then you will, as you said, we will try to live in a minimalized in a city also. So that's my opinion, personal opinion.
Okay,
Right.
thank you.
So my question is, you can type in the chat box as answer is yes or no. Okay,
Right.
whatever you feel like. Okay, if you want to live life like a minimalist, just type yes or no, or you can raise your hands. I will be really happy. And from next session, we can have another part of the art of minimalism.
Right.
Yes.
We can provide
You can
reaction
either type
also.
yes or no, or you can just
Raise your thumb.
raise your hand.
Yes. Perfect. Okay. So you can say among 40 people.
And if it is no, please type no also. So we'll realize out of 40 people present over here, how many are agreeing with it.
Everyone say we will try. Everyone try to implement in their life something as a little bit part, but that is also good for society, for the universe, right? Okay.
I'm trying to do it
Right.
now.
Thank you.
Now
Thank you.
and a lot of time ago, I started, and
follow the
I'm
same.
happy. I'm so happy.
Thank you.
Because you.
Okay, so let's time for photograph. It's time for photograph. Then we will end up the session. Quick photo, please, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Come on. Please turn on the camera. 3, 2, and smile. You guys stay till the end of the session. That was really nice. And I really appreciate your presence in this session. And I want to say once again, thank you, Dr. Dhananjay, for providing these useful sessions. And, we really, love to hear more and more like the same. Thank you all. And just unmute yourself and say goodbye, everyone. You can
Bye-bye.
and say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Buffalo.
Thank you to